Hi guys, welcome back to Nessa's Knife Review. Today we're going to take a look at the CRKT Clever Girl Folder. This is another knife that's been out for a while, and another knife that I can't understand why it hasn't taken off and why it isn't super popular. This is an awesome knife. For one, it's big. If you like big knives, this is what you want. You can see there it is against an 8010. Even it's not even completely dwarfed out against the Formax Scout. It's a really nice knife. I'm a huge fan of the deadbolt lock, so if you like the deadbolt lock, this is going to work for you. It's a D2 blade, and I think maybe some of what turned people off to it is the price. It's about $150 for this knife, which is definitely not cheap, especially for a knife with D2 steel on it. And you think, well, that seems like an awful lot of money. CRKT, it's made overseas and at $150 and being D2 steel, but is it? Is it really that expensive? A lot of people are spending money just like that on these, and again, another new innovative lock style, and you're looking at about the same money for the same quality of steel, whether AUS 10A or D2 on a lot of those 80-20.5. So I don't really fault CRKT for that. I'm assuming if you look at the prices of these deadbolt knives, none of them are really inexpensive. So maybe to produce this lock style, maybe there's a little more cost involved. That's my thought on it, at least. Let's take a quick walk around it. You can see it's a D10 handle, or excuse me, a G2 handle, G10 handle, and really you can get a great purchase on it. Has a pretty generous size flipper, but not huge. Fits your hand really nicely. Thick blade stock, deep carry pocket clip. I mean, you're only going to see that much of the knife. You're basically going to see nothing. There's the back side of that deadbolt, and it's tuned excellently for the thumb stud, for the finger flip. You can push button it right out. I haven't adjusted the D10 at all, but another one of the cool parts of these deadbolt style locks is you have a screw right here. Hard to catch that in the light, that you can actually adjust the detent on these knives, which is really nice, rather than taking them apart and bending them, if you were going to do that with a traditional liner lock to adjust the detent. Feels more risky than this, just turning a screw. But anyway, let's get some dimensions on this and some weight readings. It's a big one, right at about 7 ounces. So, as I said, it's a big knife. Let's get a overall length on it. Check that out. Right at about 9.5 inches. Blade is right there at about 4 inches. Sharpened edge, 3 7/8, I would say. So this is a good handful. Beautiful knife. If you are a fan of that trailing point, sort of Persian almost looking blade style, it's really cool. This is definitely not the one that you want to probably take to work. This one is going to scare the absolute crap out of anybody you pull it out around. Even if you just wheel it out, pinch it out nice and slow, that's a lot of knife. I wear a extra large glove, so my hands aren't huge, but they're not tiny. You can see how it fits in my hand. It's definitely a lot of knife, so know that going in. But if you're a fan of big knives like I am, this is an absolute great knife. I'm really, as I said, I'm really surprised that more people haven't taken notice of this knife. Maybe people aren't a fan of the lock style. I don't know why, because it's insanely flickable, and you can just fidget with this thing until you drive your wife absolutely nuts. And guilty, I have. So that's about all I've got on this knife. If you like what you've seen here, please like and subscribe. Drop a comment down below. Thanks, guys.